start off here with Bantam West. So Bantam West here, from Ike Brunicardi and Bantam Planet, is a sandbox Western style game. And in this game, you're going to go around, you're going to go Wild West shootout with people, you're going to go out hunting for stuff in the desert, you're getting resources, you go in the saloon, you have a drink, you play poker, there's all kinds of things that you can do in this game. This is not the first Western sandbox game. That would be Western Legends. But this one here is very, very open. But there's some problems. First of all, the setup for this game is a bear, and the rulebook is monstrously bad. It's just a horrifically bad rulebook. Everything is kind of confusing, and the rulebook kind of teaches you in like, hey, we're going to play through this scenario, then this scenario adds more rules, and this scenario adds more rules, and this one adds more rules. I'm like, well, where is this rule for whatever it might be? And I found the whole thing to be confusing. There's combat in the game. It's confusing and fiddly. You're adding these cards like this little combat deck, but it isn't particularly fun. There's lots of interesting things to do. I mean, I'll give it that. But like I said, the combat, I was never sure, like, how does movement work? I mean, there was like some basic things that took me the longest time to figure out how they work. But the idea of, oh, I can go in the saloon and do this, or I can go over to the shop and buy more equipment, or I can go do these things. That all sounds fun. The problem is when you go through each scenario, and each of these scenarios adds more and more rules, how do you onboard new people? Do you onboard them with the full game, or do you then have to take pieces of the game out? It's just kind of not a great way to have this game set up. The goals are simple to do in the game. The problem is that a lot of the ways to get points or to finish goals are there, but a lot of fun things you can do, and you're like, ooh, I want to go do whatever that fun thing is, doesn't particularly seem that useful. And the closest thing I would compare this to that this game reminds me of as a sandbox game is Zaya, which I like. Zaya is a big space sandbox game, but that game sometimes you come into, you're like, what do I do? And I think Bantam West has that same problem. I mean, the exploration part is fun. The game looks pretty good for the most part, and there's a ton of content in this box. But the entire game is longer than it needs to be, and while I like the fun theming, I'm not sure that the effort to play Bantam West is worth it. So for me, I give this one a 6 out of 10. This is the highest of the 5 games I'm talking about today, because I might try this one again in the future. This is the only one on this list that I'll play again in the future. I just don't know that the effort is worth it.